things that you live and you breathe. But you can't do that if you don't put in the work, if you don't go hard. I'm extra excited today because my son, this is the fourth, I know I'm telling you a lot about me, but in my book I share a lot of my life experiences. If you decide to get a book, because we're up in exhibit hall, I give a story about the orange juice with my oldest son. You'll have to read it because it's too long to explain. But the bottom line is, my kids are part of who I am. And creating this book, I use my personal experience and my professional experience to demonstrate to the kids and to adults that this is what has worked for me. You see this end product, this is how I got here. So I'm extra proud today because my 23-year-old son, he goes to the University of Buffalo. Well, he graduated last May, and then he went into grad school. But he's a football player, and today is their pro day where the NFL people come and they scout him out and stuff. But what I love about my son's story is that nobody ever gave him anything but a chance. He took that chance and made it into an opportunity. And with that opportunity is how he's reached the point he is today. We use him as an example with the younger kids because he wasn't a kid who was the star of the football team. He was a kid that when we first threw him out there, he didn't know which way to run. You know, he wasn't a kid born with the football under his arm. I didn't know anything about football. That was something my husband signed him up for. And I would say, you want me to go to the field 2 hours in advance? And do what? I still don't understand the whole game. I only watch him when I see him in. And that's probably bad. I'm like, is he in yet? You know, I look for his number, and then when he gets out, I turn around and do what else I'm doing. My point is, he knows that his dreams didn't come with a long team. He never wanted to go to the NFL. When he was in high school, he took courses that he said he wanted to be a lawyer. Okay, fine, whatever. First it was a psychologist, but he didn't do well in psychology. So then he changed it to he was going to be a lawyer. He went off to college. He didn't get a scholarship when he first got there. He was a walk-on. We had to pay cash tuition, $28,000, $343 the first year, and that wasn't including pocket money. The second year, it was over $30,000 because it was out of state. But he had this dream that he wanted to earn this scholarship. He earned his football scholarship, and he still rubs it in our face. He tells us, I saved you money. Baby, you're going to out-of-state school. That was a privilege. You could have taken this to school here in Georgia, and we wouldn't pay that amount of money. That's a sidebar conversation. But the point I'm making is why I'm extra proud today, because it leads to his dream. Somewhere along the line, his dream changed, where he did not want to be that lawyer. He found out that he was good enough to be in the NFL. He didn't have to be the best, but he had the skill set to be good enough. Looking at the range, he's kind of followed it. He's worked his butt off to achieve his dreams. And we tell his brothers, his younger brothers, your brother has worked a dream to live a dream. Now, I don't know how this NFL stuff is going to turn out, because apparently, even in May after the draft, if he doesn't get drafted, there's free agency, something till August. His plan B is to go to Spain to study abroad. So even if he doesn't get picked up in August, he's on the flight at the end of August to go to Spain to study abroad, because that's another dream he has. Remember when I said, you know, when you finish one dream, move on to the next one. Because they don't come with a guarantee. He's 23. He has no wife. He don't even have a girlfriend. I keep asking, can we get a girlfriend? But he's out married to football. Whatever. Most moms would be like, oh, that's wonderful. No, can we get a nice girl? But anyway, he doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have bills because he's too cheap. You know, we pay for everything. You know, the other day he sent me a text, you feel like donating to the United Negro College Fund? What are you talking about? Your son needs $20 to go to Cold Stone. I said, okay, but anyway, that's a sidebar. But my whole point is, we focus a lot on dreams personally in our house, but with kids, just teaching them, you don't just dream in your sleep. It's a lie, but you have to work a dream. Every other kid you ask wants to go to the NBA or to the NFL. What are you going to be, professional football player? What are you going to be, professional basketball player? Do you play basketball? No, but I'm still good. You got to play. And you have to put the work in. It's more than just showing up on game day. So we work with the kids on their personal dreams, professional dreams, relationship dreams. Not only do you want a good man, Do you know how to be a good woman for that good man? Working on those relationships. Some girls and boys, they've only seen negative aspects of relationships. They don't know how to treat someone well who may be interested in them to treat them well. So we get to the nitty gritty, because especially at the high school, my curriculum is from grade 6 to 12, but at the high school level, you get into those deep relationships. You know, this is really, even I know middle school girls have the babies too, but in high school, you know, they really, I'm in love, you know, I'm grown, 18, I can do what I want to do, you know, I want to set up shop, you know, he's my man for life. You have to break it down with them. What are your dreams of relationship? And one of the things I say to the kids, it's real elementary, is that when you were 10 years old, did you ever raise your hand and say, oh, me, I'm going to be pregnant at 17, and I only have enough credits to be in the 10th grade, and me and my mom are fighting, so I went to go live with my boyfriend at his grandma's house. When someone asked you what you were going to be doing at 17, is that what you raised your hand and said? And most likely they say no. And I'm like, okay, because that wasn't your dream. That's your current reality, but that wasn't your dream. But that doesn't mean you can't still dream. But we got to fix all this other stuff first. And then we move on with our dreams. Also letting them know what their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. This is a concept taken from the business world. Marketing strategy, lots of different people take credit for it. I'm not going to take credit for it. The concept, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities, and threats. But I am going to take credit for my graphic design, because my graphic designer did it. But the whole concept, and I think, I'll just explain it. I don't know if the next slide explains it. But really what you do here is an activity that, again, forces the kids to really look at what are the things, and it's big me and little me, that are strengths in their world. What are the things that work for them? What is the good? Even looking at the school, what is good about school? What's the positive about school? You know, what are the things that you do well? If you want to be that NBA player, what is it that you're bringing to the game that the kid next to you and the kid to your left and the kid to your right are not bringing to the game? Why would they want you? The same question we asked my son with the NFL. Why do they want you? Why would they choose you as a corner over the other kid as a corner? And his response is, because I'm faster. And being a corner, you have to be fast. You know, there are other reasons why, but at least he's able to verbalize, and he's done his homework, and he knows I'm the fastest corner in the MAC competition. Trust me when I said I don't know about this stuff, but that's his response to me. Okay? Knowing what those strengths are. Knowing what those weaknesses are. What part of you, you know, that you know you need to work on in order to achieve that dream. You know, my son, his biggest thing was his dad is tall and slim, I'm tall and slim. He doesn't have the weight. I mean, he went to training and gained 8 pounds, but they kept trying to put this weight on him. He knows that's his weakness, because he can't, I guess, what did he do, lift weights or something? Yeah, whatever that is. Okay, he knows that he's got less weight than the next kid. But knowing that, when he went into training, that was something he focused on. On this diet, where he'd only eat certain things to put on that weight. So knowing those weaknesses, not destroying the dream, but knowing what you're doing in order to achieve that dream. Knowing about the opportunities for you. If I do this, then what will happen to bring me that? Knowing what's out there. And like I said earlier, you know, in my family, we teach people that no one ever gave us anything but a chance. We took that chance and made it into an opportunity. Knowing what's available for you if you do this and if you do that. So you don't live in a world of shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I didn't. And then threats. Again, looking at who's out there who does not have your best interest at heart. Letting go of those toxic relationships. Divorcing yourself from the pain, because that pain is a part of those threats. Filing those legal papers to separate yourself. I've written a whole poem on that. When I post it on my blog, people automatically say, oh my God, you're getting a divorce. And I always have to put a disclaimer. No, me and my husband been married 24 years and we're still happy. I'm not getting a divorce. Because people initially don't kind of get it. But it's the same concept. Separate yourself from the threats in your life. Not to say you aren't aware of them, but build that artillery against those threats to protect yourself from them hurting you. Teaching the kids how to do that. You don't have to be abused. You don't have to accept that. There are challenging steps to get away and get out, but you don't have to live like that. I know, and I tell kids all the time, people love you the best way they know how. Some people. Some people love you the best way they know how. But it's up to you to decide if that's the right kind of love for you. They're going to give you what they got, and they think it's fine, and it's the best love they know how to give. But you have to decide if that's the kind of love that I'm worthy of, that I'm going to accept. So you've got to make those determinations. Is that love a threat to my life? Baby, you love me just a little bit too much. Okay? I don't need you stalking me. Okay? I don't need you, going through my phone and checking up on me and showing up and all those type of red flags. That individual may be loving you the best way he or she knows how. But you own the power of change and not to accept that type of love. It's sometimes harder for kids, especially the little ones. They don't have the power to change their circumstances, but you can teach them the power to change how they feel about those circumstances. So looking at those threats that are in your life, and they're not just physical threats, they're people in your life, toxic people. Let them go, because they're not going to help you to achieve those dreams. What I've explained to you is the core of my resiliency formula. And it's really helping kids and people. And I have to tell you that even though my workshop here is designed for teens because we're at the National Youth at Risk, I'm also a life coach where I work with adults. And the same principles apply to adults. I use different examples, different worksheets, but it does apply to adults. And so knowing and becoming comfortable with their identity, adults struggle with that as well because they change over life. They have more years to change, and now they're confused about who I am. I'm not the same woman I was 20 years ago. Not that it's bad one way or the other. I'm just not the same. Now, what do I do with this new person? This new person doesn't want to work here anymore. This new person is not happy in this relationship anymore. What do I do? So just discovering and helping them know who they are. Their identity is the core. Helping you recognize you know who you are will determine what type of changes you need to make, how you need to make those changes, what's going to work, what's not going to work. The resiliency formula leads students down that path of acknowledgement. It's a lot of self-reflection to move towards self-empowerment, to become more resilient. And ultimately, if they're able to do that, then you will see it in their academics. You'll see that improvement because they feel good. They want to do better. They've got dreams. I don't have time for this. I have dreams to fulfill. They will believe in their dreams, and it won't be so far-fetched. Some of these kids may have never had a real daydream about their future realistically in their lives. But through our Go Hard problem, because we're getting in there and doing the surgery, making them acknowledge and understand, recognize and embrace that big me, they're at that point where they can become resilient and really begin to dream. You can't see that, but I'm going to read it. You can't see that. I can't see it either, actually. But really, what this focuses on, just little 12 tricks I have to get over it. I can't see this one either. And these are just little fun things that it's in the book as well. Number one, when something is itching, scratch it. If you don't, it'll keep itching. That goes to ignoring pain. It's going to still be there. So you got to get in there and scratch it. Don't buy things just because they look good. Sometimes we get into situations because it looks like it's a good fit, but it may not be a good fit for us. Remember I said overcoming your odds? Sometimes it's easier for us to jump into the whole statistical game, but it may not even apply to us. I can't really see this. Oh, I'll read number 4. Remember that a bucket can be filled one drop at a time, so you don't have to fill it all at once, not in one shot. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Just keep working on that dream, just a little bit at a time. Just keep piecing the dream together, and eventually that dream will come to fruition. So many people give up. My bucket is only half full. It's taking too long for the rest of the water to come down. What am I supposed to do? I don't have time. It just didn't work out. And they walk away. before that dream becomes a reality. So teaching the kids is some things take time. My son could have walked away when he didn't get a Division I scholarship. But he did a walk-on. They told him, if you come and you show us what you can do and you work for it, we will give you a scholarship. He did exactly what they told him to do. And even when he got the scholarship and he was working on it, he had no idea that he would be good enough to go, to go on with the NFL stuff that he's doing. So it takes a little, one drop at a time, but eventually that bucket will be filled. Know the difference, number 7, between courage and courageous. I tell the kids again, everybody is born with courage. Baby, you have it in you. But it's what you do with it is what makes you courageous. I told you, number 9, you own the power of change. Number 10, we've talked a little bit about life isn't fair. We know that already, so what? So what are you going to do about it? It wasn't fair to me. I know a lot of my friends I grew up with in Brooklyn, they're still in the same place that they were 30 or 40 years ago. I'm aging and dating myself, but when I go home, hey, they used to call me Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee, what you doing, girl? I'm doing a lot. What are you doing? Girl, let me tell you what happened. In the same place, doing the same thing, at the same time, every day. Hanging out in front of the building. That's kind of what we do in New York. Hanging out in front of the building. If that's the life you choose, so be it. But that wasn't what I chose. Okay. I guess that's all the only points I'll make on that one. Because I really can't see it. I'm not pretending. I don't want to put on my glasses because I don't like to wear my glasses because they're not cute. So I'd rather just pretend like I can see. I'm done pretending. Okay. Another cutesy thing, and the points I just made, 12 tricks to get over it, you can create exercises out of that too. But it's a good visual aid for the kids. This one, just plain old stuff you need to know to get over it. It kind of summarizes some basic things in life that we often forget. We get all caught up in all the fancy, we get all caught up in all the fancy things in life. There's some basic things we need to know. One, just be nice to folks. Just plain old nice. When I say good morning, boo, just say good morning back. Just be plain old nice. I'll skip number 2, get on your knees and pray, because we're not supposed to tell the children that. I tell them that in secret, but yeah. Okay. Learn how to say I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. You would think you were asking these kids for their last 50 cents if you asked them to say I'm sorry. Adults too. Just learn how to say I'm sorry. If you're wrong, I'm sorry. Learn how to just walk away. I tell again, kids and adults, just because you walk away does not mean you have given up. It just means you've made a choice. Period. I'm going to walk away from this situation. I don't want a part of it. It's going to bring me down. It's negative. Those toxins, it's not worth it. I don't feel like being upset today. So you know what? I'm going to walk away. I learned that concept when my kids went to Montessori school, because when they were little, they would just tell the kids, walk away, just walk away, just walk away. And I didn't realize how important that was as an adult. It's hard for people to walk away. They want the last words. That little grumpy 12-year-old I have in my house, we're still working on that walk away, because he's the kind that I'll say something to him and he walk away. What did you say? I didn't say anything. He has to have the last word. So we're still working on that with him. Have some manners. What happened to please and thank you? You don't have to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, but please and thank you is not bad. It makes a difference. When you're in the classroom with that teacher, you'll be amazed that the teacher hears the the what you say, I ain't got it, yeah, If they hear you say please and thank you, they remember that. It makes a difference. Forgiving folks, that's a hard one. So many folks can't forgive. Children and adults, they hold on to it. We talked a little bit about that. At some point, you have to learn how to forgive folks. Just keep your mouth shut. Why do you have to tell everybody all your business? Then you want to know why people talking about you. Stay off of Facebook. Stay off of Instagram. Stay off of King, and then wonder how you find that out. Didn't you post it? Yeah, but I thought I just put it to my friends. I didn't know it was public. Well, if you posted it to your friends, you're still telling the world, because they can tell somebody else too. Stop telling people all your business. All the he said, she said, you said, I said, we said, no, we didn't, leads to a lot of fighting. Stop doing stupid stuff. Kids just do some stupid stuff, and you just look at them like, my nephew used to live with us, and he's still a handful. He's 33 now. We just look at Sim, and he's one. We love him. We grew up as brother and sister in Brooklyn. After my mom died, she died when I was 14. I lived with my grandma, and then my aunt moved in. She was 36, and she had my little cousin Simeon, but she didn't have a husband. My grandma was upset. It was a big mess, but she was 36. But anyway, my grandmother said that was not respectful. But anyway, so she didn't have any place to live. She moved in with us. So my cousin, y'all know how this story goes. So my cousin Simeon was raised like my brother. Well, then when I moved down here and got married, he was up there. Carol was having difficulty, my aunt, and so she sent him down here to us. His little bad behind, I guess he thought he was in New York City school at that time, where more things were allowed than here in Georgia. Well, he decides he's going to go flipping down the hall. I'm talking about those somersaults down the hall when he was like 8 or 9 years old. Why? Why would you even think that's remotely okay? Well, because I felt like it. Dude, stop. And he would constantly do it. I had to shift from sister mode to mama mode, and I believe in corporal punishment. So we had to take care of a few things. But even as he continued to grow older, Simeon has had his little stint in and out of jail being a fake drug dealer, because if you were a real drug dealer, you will be always caught and sent to jail. I mean, that's but he just got out like a month ago and came to pick up his note for his car or whatever it is. Are you going to stay out now? Because this is not cute anymore. You've been in and out since you were 17. You're 32 years old now. Brother, you got to do something. It's always stupid stuff. Stop. Get a grip. I just told y'all too much about Sim, but I love him. He's a good kid. Walk on the wild side sometimes. I'm challenged with that. I'm one to kind of go with the flow. Staying out late, that's extra. I don't want to do it. Hey, Miss Taylor. And I say, hey, Miss Taylor, because sometimes when we come down and she wants me to stay out a little bit later, I just give her the side eye like, nah, I'm going up to my room. And I really need to walk on that wild side a little bit more. No, you don't hang out all the time, Miss Taylor. No, I'm not saying that. You just hang out a little bit later than I do.
And you put it out there like that.
Well, see, I'm ready to go upstairs at 8 o'clock. You know, we eat, I'm going upstairs. And she's like, we're on this nice boardwalk, whatever you call it. Let's just take a stroll. No, she's not out till 11 and 12. I didn't mean that. But I'm just making a point. It's about me. Back to me. That sometimes you got to live on the wild side just a little bit. Getting stuff that fits. I kind of talked about that. Taking pride in yourself. And when I say going old school, sometimes like I said, I believe in corporal punishment. I gotta snatch my kids up sometime and just go old school on them. Like, dude, all the psychology in the world is not going to straighten this out. I just need to hit you. and I don't leave any marks, but sometimes you just have to go back to old school lessons. And I'm not saying you can't do that to the kids at work, but sometimes you have to go back to old school values and beliefs that you were raised with, those good ones, to get them to understand. I'm about to finish right now, because I see y'all folks like, okay, it's 11:20. I'm going back to my original slide. What I hope I've done for you today is show you how my mantra is filtered throughout my program and a part of who I am. It's not just what I do, it's a part of who I am. And that's where I built the program, from personal and professional. I try to give you a glimpse of who I am as a person, and professionally, how I'm able to create this program. I am, I can, I will, I do. That's the foundation. Here's the cover of the book. We're upstairs in the exhibit hall. This gives you a little bit more information. The books are $12.95. It's upstairs. We can answer all those questions up there. I have a copy of the curriculum there. There is a bundle package that's available for educators. You get a curriculum guide and 10 teen books. The kids get a teen journal as well. I mentioned that to you. And then there's a consultation with myself to kind of get the program up, started, and running and going. And, you know, you'll be able to communicate with me and so on.